Hello, my friends. Today, I'll do a little recording on a light note. My wife and I are recovering from Corona. We're on the third or the fourth day, not sure. So I'm kind of delirious from all this Corona. I really have no idea what am I doing. And that made me bold enough to try to do a recording on a theme that I want to call it a religious agnostic, or maybe religious atheist agnostic, or agnosticated religious atheist biased towards fanatical rationalism. So it's a little bit on the light side, not necessarily my personal views, but I think you will enjoy it a little bit on light night. And why on the light side? And why you might enjoy it? Because the Gemara says, Talmud says, if you get really like a lot of headaches from studying, have a joke. Take it easy a little bit. Don't be too stuff in studies. Take a break once in a while. So here I am with Corona, with a fever. Therefore, disclaimer, I'm not responsible in anything I said or will say. Hope you enjoy the talk. All right. These rabbis got the best of me. Who do they think they are? I'm going to these religious lessons. I went in, my friend dragged me in to say, hey, Lev, you might enjoy it. So I sat there and I asked myself, what do they know anyway? What right do they have to prescribe certain laws and regulations for me? I'm much smarter than them. I know I am because I'm an engineer. I spend my life in engineering and mechanical, technical things. I'm basically a center of the world. I know a lot of people who are really not as smart as me. And all these rabbis for 3,000, 3,500 years studying really didn't know what they're talking about. And when you think about it, they had no telephones, no cars, and certainly no internet. So how can they possibly know what they were talking about? I have a phone, and I get a lot of information from Wikipedia, which obviously knows a lot better than any rabbi ever hoped to know. And starting and talk about the Torah, that thank God I don't believe in it. Thank God I don't believe in Torah. Listen, I have a copy at home. I have a copy. Why? I don't know. Somebody just gave it to me as a present. I have a copy of the Talmud also. Talmud. What is Talmud? Do rabbis even know what the word Talmud means? Probably don't. And besides, I have a prayer book. I do have a kippah. See? But kippah limits you. What really elevates you is a hat that has mechanical attributes to that. Shows the world that you know that I really know better. I know better than other people. It's just me. I'm the center. And I heard people tell me, if you want to, I'm taking Jeff's class and he is going through this logistics. Rabbi Yochanan said that, and Resh Lachish said that. Who is Rabbi Yochanan? Where does he live here? I don't even know his address. Resh Lachish, Shmuel, Rav, Rabba. It's a contrived names that religious people put together to keep our minds and souls kind of like manipulated. Here's in the prayer book, for example. It says, I looked at it, just not that, please God, thank God I don't believe into it, but it says, Shomer Hashem et kol achovav, vet kol charashim yishmit. Hashem protects all those who love him, but all the wicked he will destroy. Oh, how can it be possible? Where's his humility? Where's his love? So if I love Hashem, all good. If I don't love, it's not nice. It's not nice. It's because I don't love Hashem, he is not nice to me. That is already their complete capitulation. Okay. Torah was given in Sinai, religious, so-called Jews belief. Thank God I don't fall into this trap. Evidence, scientific evidence with a carbon copy. Where is the original Torah? Is it in the library in London, in New York? in Los Angeles, in Jerusalem, they don't have a copy. Why? It was never copied. Personally, I think it was written like in Poland, maybe 500 years ago by monks. Monks sitting there and they writing things. They had nothing else to do, drinking wine. So they wrote this Torah, and now they want us to believe the Torah came from Sinai. How is it possible? It's impossible. A contrived, completely contrived nonsense. I didn't read the whole Talmud. I only read a couple of pages, but it's enough for me to know it's a bunch of baloney. Baloney doesn't make any sense. And I don't want to make sense from it because everybody knows it's complete nonsense. So, and also even Jews will say they go by majority. How many Jews are in the world? 15 million, 20. Out of 10 billion people, it's like 2%, 1 or 2%. How can 1 or 2% be right? At least majority, maybe other religions, they have billions of people there. They, as majority, I mean, they must be right. But we, the Jews, have like 2%. We obviously are wrong. Nobody believes that stuff. All right. I like to also mention that why talking about Torah, learning Torah, all these sects, Haredi. What is a Haredi? I don't understand them. Haredi, Har, it's like mountain. So it's a mountain people maybe. And then Hasidim. There is Satmars, Chabad, belts, hats like this, huge foreheads. In the summer with a big few foreheads. Doesn't make any sense. No logic, no rhyme and reason, no rhyme and reason. Rebbe, what Rebbe said, you do. What kind of a submissive culture it is? I don't go by what Rebbe does. I know better. I am the guy. I know a lot about mechanical things. I'm an engineer. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, logical people. Rabbis are just brainwashed. What do they know? Nothing. I would much rather talk about politics. Well, somebody's calling me about it. Okay, so what was I saying? I was saying that all different Hasidim sects. And then as an engineer, I really know what's going on. I would also talk about something more useful, more practical, maybe like to improve my kitchen, to make my family life better, or to buy a nicer car, or make more money. Money is everything, really. Without money, you can't buy anything, right? That makes sense. What the rabbis say about that? Nothing. And thank God I don't fall for that. Okay. And then, so politics, it's another area. I like to talk about politics. A lot of people today talk about this, Russia, Ukraine, NATO, America. I think really it's so, the whole world is against Putin. Putin's such a monster. I know like Russians wanted to put missiles, remember, in Cuba. And then this guy, President Kennedy, have a standoff, get him off from Cuba. That's a little mistake Americans did in the past. They had no rights really to tell Russians not to put missiles in Cuba. Cuba is an independent country. What does America have the right to tell Russians not to put missiles in Cuba? But if we put missiles in Ukraine, that's our right. Why? Because America has a moral position. We're good people, and Russia is bad people. So what we can do, Russia obviously cannot do. Also, I would think about an example. Let's say China would make an alliance with Canada and Mexico, and they put their missiles on the Mexican border and Canadian border. What would America do? I know what America will do. We'll negotiate with them. We'll talk about, maybe we'll have like a coffee and tea summit. how to be a better person, how to get along. We discuss that. And as long as they shoot these missiles tonight, we will have no right really to go ahead and take those Chinese missiles from the Mexican border. You might say it's not a realistic scenario. You're probably right. But if that would happen, I would say we should be happy with that. They have the right. As long as they didn't shoot the missile that already fly. Let's say they shoot the missile from Mexico to Houston. It flies like what missile? 2 minutes, maybe 3. But it's only Houston. It's not like a lot of area they can damage. Or from Canada, they launch it towards Los Angeles. But just one town, not a lot of damage. So we cannot do this preemptive. And all these rabbis saying, if somebody wants to kill you, kill him first. That right there is how wrong they are, how vicious they are. Self-defense. We want to be nice. We don't want to be mean people. You know, if Iran would put the army, Israel has a good relationship with Jordan. But let's say Iranians make agreement with them and put their troops, missiles in Jordan within 10 kilometers from Jerusalem. And then in Gulf of Aqaba, they'll have an Iranian fleet. What would Israel do? I don't think they should do nothing. We should try to maybe have a conference about maybe environment, so we can something we can agree on. Try to understand and other people's view. Be nice, be nice. Rabbis don't understand that either. So in that, I want to say, I'm very disappointed with the whole religion thing. And then my own background shows that rabbis are wrong, and everybody is wrong. I know a lot better than most people because, listen, it's just me. I know I'm smart. So how can possibly somebody will tell me that they have to read the entire Talmud to understand it? That's a bunch of nonsense. Thank God I don't believe that. You understand that? So that's why I call myself a religious agnostic or atheist. Why? Because on one hand, I am agnostic. And on the other hand, I am, keep a fellow. I am religious. Why am I religious? Just have a keeper on to just keep my hand warm. That's all. But really, I have to have this business hat on myself. That's the best thing to work around business. And we see with these classes sometimes. I came to these classes and people like debate, you know, like Rabbi said this, Rabbi says this, Tana. What is Tana? What's this Tana? Tana Shmana. Amora. Is it like sour cream, some like cheese brand? When did they live anyway? Did they really exist? There's Amoras and Tanas. Is it a name of some person of the town? I don't believe that. And in fact, you know, the earth is round. Well, I don't know the earth is round. It might as well be flat. When I measure it, when I go into stratosphere and look at it, then I know it's round. But until this point, anybody will tell me that earth is round, I don't necessarily believe it. It sounds like strange to you, but maybe it's not round. Maybe it's like flat, or maybe it's just concave, some sort. Who knows? I really think it's flat because it's just my view, but my view is the best view because I went to college for many years and I have a telephone and internet and Wikipedia, I look at it and that's where all the knowledge on internet, I gain all my knowledge from internet, the best source of information. So I hope you don't fall in trap of this religiosity or whatever you call it. I hope you understand that how confused these rabbis, thousands of these rabbis over the years, one after another, put together some kind of this castle built on sand. And these rabbis probably have no education. I don't think any one of them could do, let's say, fix a pipe or build a house or make a phone call or look on the internet and then parse the files and download files. They didn't know how to do that. Why did they know how to do it? Because they didn't know anything. Beards, growing these big beards, awful. Kabbalah, that's another thing. Kabbalah. Whoever came up with this term, Shimon ben Yochai. Some people say Shimon bar Yochai. So which one is it? Shimon ben Yochai? Shimon bar Yochai. Make up your mind, religious guys. What kind of religion you doing if you don't even know the name of people you're talking about? So I highly recommend to people listening, forget about the Torah. Don't study Talmud, don't study. Thank God I don't. Get something more useful. Get a manual how to fix a refrigerator or how to become a plumber or a doctor. Go to college, get an education, make money, support your family. Then the world will be a better place. Get along with people. If people are bad people in the world, reach out to them, explain to them. Back to this conflict with this Russia, Ukraine, what's Ukrainian position? Well, prevailing position against Russia is aggressor. And then what's American position about? American position also, no. You look on the internet, which is where we get our news, rightly so. Who needs books in history? It's history's mystery. Why do I need to read that stuff? I know better. So what's the Russian position? What the Russians really want? They want to have expansion to become Soviet Union, USSR, get the whole world under the umbrella. Is that what they say? Quite frankly, I didn't hear that's what they say. I know that Americans say that's what Russians want. Ukrainians say that they want. I don't know what Russians said. They probably didn't say anything. And whatever they say, I don't believe them. Why? Because I'm much smarter than them. That information about what's Russia's position, right or wrong, and nowhere I found in the internet. What exactly do they want? What exactly do they want? Is that reasonable demand? And even it's not reasonable, what is it? I don't think I need to know because they're bad. They're bad people. And we need to fight and fight and fight them because we're just and good people. And the less we hear the logic of their arguments, the better off we are. We don't want to be analyzing their position because they're so bad. Okay. America and Europe all together against Russia. China, India, like they say 80% of the world don't support Ukraine. They kind of support Russia. And if that's true, they're wrong also. And why they're wrong? Why they're wrong? On what basis they take their views and positions? Because they're stupid. It's such a contrived position, complete ignorance. If they want to know some of the real truth, they can call me and I can tell them myself what is going on because I know better. I haven't studied the history. I haven't studied the Torah very much and Gemara. I read a couple of pages. But the reason I don't, because thank God I don't believe into it. I believe in the power of human compassion, to be nice, to reach out, to hug, to kiss, to love, to get along. That's what I do. There's no such a thing as monsters and bad people in the world. They're all nice. We just have to reach out to them and they'll get better. If you invite them for coffee, they'll not try to kill you. They know better, but you don't invite them for coffee. Try to. Cake, maybe. So that is my my recording for today. Hope you enjoy it. A little bit on the light side. And to this day, I don't know the difference between agnostic and atheist. I'm agnostic and atheist and religious. It's just a show. Put my head like this. Now I'm working man. And here, I'm an intellectual engineer. If I'd like to be a doctor, maybe, then I can learn about Krebs cycle. I heard the Krebs cycle. Quite to be honest with you, for those of you who are doctors, I don't think there's such a thing as Krebs cycle. I think doctors made it up. There's no Krebs cycle. Krebs. Who is Krebs? Is it like crabs, like lobsters, a lobster cycle? Bunch of baloney. All these books they do and study. I don't like to learn Talmud. I like to get books about Talmud and learn and understand from these books how useful learning about Talmud is. That I like to do. That it proves to me and to others how wrong the rabbis are. How wrong they are. And who is right? Me. Because there's a universe, I'm in the center. And around it are the people, God, and so forth. So talk to your son. Yeah, honey.